The Sharp Tank. No jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world. And today, got my co-host, T-Rell. Everybody know Tiny Cuz. Everybody know him, so I don't even need to introduce you. Let's just pass off. We got Ermia, right?
Yes, sir.
Ermia, the designer, in the building. Top of the line, huh?
Super excited to be here, man.
I'm happy to have you here,
Appreciate
man.
you.
For real. Now, T-Rell was asking you earlier, like, I know the brand, Palm 11, but what even made you even start this? I don't even want to touch about you selling out yet. Just you, like, what even made you start this, man?
Well, I got into fashion at the end of 2016. 2017, I started my first brand. It was called Luxury Sauvage. And I was very new to the game, trial and error. It actually took off really fast and made me a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I don't come from money, so I didn't know how to manage that money. Therefore, I got myself in a little bit of trouble. I had some lawsuits coming my way. Ran out of money. And long story short, with that one, I got into depression, took some time off. Tried to come back a year later, started a second brand. And that's the brand that I had a partnership with Eric Bellinger with. And unfortunately, we didn't see eye to eye on the designs. I didn't feel like I was being a designer, more as a backup quarterback. And that made me feel like I was suffocating. So I had to walk out of that brand. And I took another year off. I was like, you know what? Let me just catch myself. Did some growing, got into real estate. That turned out really well for me. And I actually designed that hoodie that you're wearing right now a year ago.
This thing is very nice, man. Like I said, it's very comfortable.
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me, what does Palm 11 mean? So basically, the palm stands for the palm trees, which resemble paradise. And the number 11 comes from the angel number 1111. And I've been seeing that so much for the past 2 years now, since my grandma passed.
That's crazy because I'll buy by that with my fiance's birthday, 2-2. You know what I'm saying? It's still an angel's number.
Yeah.
I actually got it tatted on me. I think it's like right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we meant to be here. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I want to rewind all the way. I want to rewind back to the beginning with your first brand, because a lot of people, when they start brands, some people like, I made a lot of money with my first brand. But it's just like, how did you make that money? And it's like, the marketing behind it. Like, what did you do to put it out there in people's face so they can see?
To be completely honest with you, I didn't know jack about marketing, bro. I actually got into fashion just because, like, it was I love art, so it's the only thing that I knew that was for me. And at the time, I had zero money, so I borrowed $1,000 from my sister. Got some pre-made shirts like most people do when they start, and sold that out. It was actually a hoodie as well. And then that 1,000 turned into 10,000.
Where were you selling them? Just out the trunk or what? Different friends?
I'm a hustler, bro. Like, I was going all around selling. It was in-person sales,
Yeah.
I had nowhere to go, but I just knew, like, the thing is, I told everyone I'm gonna be the next Louis Vuitton, right? And these were pre-made.
That's a big statement.
It is.
That's a very big statement.
And I got laughed at. People thought I was crazy because
I would probably laugh if I didn't know. I would. I mean, come on, T-Rell, when you laugh and walk up on you telling you, man, hey, I'm the next Louis Vuitton.
Hell no. Because, some people, I seen a lot of people that was laughed at.
Yeah, he is Walt Disney, bro, if you ask him.
That ain't laughing at no more.
Right.
You feel me?
Real shit.
That's what happened.
For real.
Because these were pre-made hoodies, and everyone was like, yeah, you're crazy. You think, like, this is going to be the next Louis Vuitton. But they didn't see the vision that I saw in my head. This was my start. I knew what I could do with that $1,000, flip it into $10,000. So I did that. And then I finally found a manufacturer. Actually, the manufacturer that I'm with right now, I've been with them for like the past 6 years. They were actually a swimwear company. So I was the first person that brought like luxury apparel to their manufacturer.
Yeah, see, that's another question too.
Yeah.
So you marketing, so you going around, you selling your hoodies. Some people start with like an online, thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Get their domain, do that whole thing and try to market online, and then still, social media. But still, like, I told a couple friends too, like you were just saying, like you said you found a manufacturer, but you have to go down. You got to put that footwork in to go find that fucking manufacturer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
like, so how'd you go find, your manufacturer? How'd you run into him?
Good question. I started off in the country, and Man, I had like a whole list of manufacturers in the country, and everyone I called, they were like laughing at me. They were like, "How much money do you have?" I said, 10,000. At the time, they were like, "You need to give up that dream, kid. If you don't have at least $100,000, fashion isn't for you." I'll never forget the guy that told me that. So then I was like, "Man, it's not gonna work out here." I'd never done business, at 25 years old with somebody like China.
Right.
So I went through a bunch of manufacturers out there. I came across the swimmer company. Luckily they had, I guess, I don't know, Google Translator or something.
Yeah.
And
We
we
I don't want to
could.
laugh, but I'm like, yeah, the Google Translator's a motherfucker.
You know what's
ain't it?
funny about that? That girl and I actually started sexting at some point. It was it was crazy, but it
So
happened.
the manufacturer you pull up to, she's a woman.
Yeah, she sent
And
me
then-
pictures. Yeah.
And so you Google translating with her now. Now she's sending you naked flicks. She trying
Bro,
to fuck.
the thing is, like, time difference, right? So it's
Yeah.
like 4 a.m. here, early morning there, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm staying up late nights. It's early morning for her. Things happen when you vibing up. You know
So
what
it's like, so it's like, what you doing? She the bitch. I ain't making no shirt.
No, I think she saw my Instagram at the. she saw my Instagram at the time, and then
Yeah.
she said your pictures look really good. And I said,
Yeah.
to be honest, I haven't seen any pictures of you. So that's how it started. And she sent me pictures in her bra, and I was like,
Oh,
okay.
you cold, man.
I do it for the city, bro. So it's a little different.
So with that 10,000, what did that 10,000 get you?
It got me my first actual order. Luckily, I guess maybe it was a sex thing. I don't know what it was. But she taught me a lot about fabrics. And I was one of the first people. I believe I was the first, to be
That's
honest.
game.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. That's game. He said, yeah. I kind of like, finesse the first call I made, man, and just it happened.
Hey. And yeah, so at the time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the fitness route and add like fashion to make it more fashionable, especially with the leggings I was putting out for women and the pants, like the joggers I put out. And yeah, so that's why I got like a couple joggers, a couple tees, and Jamie Foxx ended up being one of my first clients. And he fell in love with everything I was putting out. I just started seeing it online. I didn't even know he was like shopping my stuff.
Yeah.
I just woke up one morning and put a crap ton of DMs, and people were like, "Yo, Jamie Foxx is in your pants." And I'm like zooming in. I'm like, "Yeah, those zippers in the front. I'm the only one doing that." So I actually started manifesting that. That happened like.
So you did actually create an online store.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you did create an online
got to
store,
that.
and then you start.
Yeah.
You was marketing through Instagram now. Got a
Yeah.
little boy. Yeah.
But it wasn't
So
like it
started
is
going
now,
crazy.
where people are like doing all these reels and like snapping their fingers, outfit changes. It was like basic.
It was
stuff.
basic shit.
Basic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic shit. That was crazy. I remember when Instagram first started.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. So, to come up like that is wild. So when Jamie Foxx got in your shit, you feel me? Like, I know that shit must have been a great feeling. But also
Had
it
to
was
be.
like, yeah.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be a great feeling. But once that like did things skyrocket for you, or was it still like the same?
So the story with the Jamie Foxx situation is actually kind of funny. I was in a store actually out here in LA. It was called Kicks Cartel at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up from a nap one day and I saw a picture of Jamie Foxx holding a bag next to the store owner. And then out of the bag, the little drawstring was hanging out. I'm the only one with that drawstring. So I zoomed in.
It's crazy when a motherfucker notice, like,
Yeah, bro, because when he different,
details.
you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
knew like it was mine. Nobody else was doing that. So I zoomed into the picture. I was like, my heart just started beating. I was like, Jamie Foxx just bought my clothes, So I called the store owner. I was like, yo, did Jamie Foxx just buy my stuff? He's like, man, I didn't want to tell you because I don't want you like reaching out to Jamie Foxx.
What type of nigga is that?
Hey, look, T-Rell say some shit like that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
T-Rell, like, where the hate coming from, bro? What the fuck
Straight
you
up.
mean?
What type of nigga is you?
So he was like, yeah, but he bought 2 hoodies, 2 joggers. He just spent $500 on your clothes. So I'm
Yeah.
like, 500, So that was like crazy to me. So I started posting the pictures once I saw him, and then my followers on my previous Instagram started like commenting on Jamie Foxx's photos, like, man, you need to reach out to this boy. You need to reach out to this boy, and I manifested it exactly the way I wanted it to go. And sure enough, in 2019, he reached out to me. He DM'd me, yo, it's Fox. Let's link. was like, I know it's Fox. You know, I see this.
Yeah, I see your name.
Of course.
I'm not gonna miss that.
Yeah.
So the next day, the news found out in my city of Houston, and they actually came over to my house and interviewed me about it. So that was the craziest moment, you know, for the news station to come into my house and interview me about like Jamie Foxx, Megan Good, all these celebrities I've been working with, and that Louis Vuitton dream that I had, you know, was starting to become real. I was becoming like the celebrity designer dude now.
Yeah.
At the time when I would say that, my own mother didn't believe it. You know, she was like, you know, you're a kid from Iran, and shout out to my country right now with everything they're going through.
Yeah, because you know, coming up and you doing that, like going back, like you said, before all the glitz and glamour is starting to happen for you.
Yeah.
You know, shit was
Real
felling,
shit.
and you got into a little depressed mode. You feel me? Like which normal motherfuckers do. You feel me? But
Well, this was a little different because
Yeah.
it was through an investor that was suing me, and at the time I didn't know anything about like lawsuits, bro, and I wasn't gonna tell my mom. She was gonna have a panic attack because I was taking on a lot of things with myself, bro. I actually had around $200,000 invested into me without even signing a contract.
Talk that shit.
You know.
Hey, man, good game right there. And I'm going to go ahead and break it down. When they say business, good business is using other people's money. Let's be real, church. Using other people's money to build the business. If you
Yeah.
can, it's not necessarily taking yours.
Right.
I feel that, bro. And I resonate with that. That shit, that's real
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I sold them my vision. You know, all they had to do was be patient with me because it was gonna happen. You know, it's life. Shit happens. Sometimes you go up and then you come down and you're gonna go back up. But like
yeah,
most people, they shouldn't like if you can't see your money like being at risk, don't invest because
Right.
like life happens. Shit's
It's
gonna
a
happen.
gamble, bro.
Right.
It's a gamble.
At the time, it was in 2018. California caught on fire. So the store I was at, the sales were dropping because like nobody was shopping. Kim Kardashian's house was about to catch on fire, you know. And I was supposed to do a deal with Brandon Ingram, and he got into that fight and he got suspended.
Basketball player.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I was like this kid from Houston, like doing all this LA shit that guys in LA weren't even doing, you know. But like, I'm a dog, bro. Like, if I really want something, I'm gonna fight till I fucking die. So. Fashion is very serious to me. A lot of people do this for the money. I do this to be the best at it. So
And all these people you were coming in contact with were just organic.
they were seeing the stuff. Megan Good's team actually reached out to my boy Aaron over there, and they asked me to sponsor a Halloween party, and she was in the clothes, bro. So that was my first celebrity party that I sponsored, and she started wearing the clothes, working out, and making videos. And then after that, I sponsored Diddy's party in 2018 as well. And Megan Good actually worked my second brand as well right before Palm 11 with the Eric Bellinger deal since they're also family. So yeah,
You've
man.
been So yeah. It's
Yeah,
got
so
you
Eric,
like, what the
so
fuck?
Eric Bellinger, he one of the only artists that come and he see and he like, you know what?
Right.
Let's take it all away.
Let's take it all the way.
So what happened with that was I actually gifted him some clothes when he came to Houston for a concert. And he hit me up like a year later, bro. That kind of broke my heart, right? Because I'm like, in person, like giving it to him, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this shit. I'm like, never heard from this dude again. A year later, he reaches out to me and he's like, hey, can you design some merch for my tour? I love the fabric that you're dealing with. And I was like, man, let's just start a brand together and like really get it out there.
Yeah.
And so him and I started working on that with my boy Nick over there. It just didn't work out, man. God's plan.
Well, and you said like you feel like you was taking a back seat and you was just like a quarterback coming off the bench.
Like I would design stuff, bro, and then like if I know something's a hit in my heart, it's gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
But then I would show it to him. He'd be like, I don't like this, I don't like that. Now it's not like the same excitement and feeling I had about that design anymore. It looks completely different. So it kind of makes me be like, I'm just here doing it for you.
Yeah, I mean, then wouldn't you want to cater to the artist? I mean, it's your brand, and then you know, I mean, you kind of like catering to his style and his fans, right?
I mean, we were putting in all the money, bro. So
Yeah.
I don't know what I was catering to. You know, he was
Wow.
bringing his publicity. Like,
Wow.
it should have been a partnership. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
what I agreed to was a partnership.
I understand that.
I didn't sign here to be a backup quarterback to no man. So
So
remember
you
you
felt
said
like
that
you,
earlier.
so you
Yeah.
felt like you didn't need him.
bro, it was a respectful relationship. I was excited to
Right.
work with him, but I don't need anybody in life, bro. I'm from the Middle East. Like we fight for what we want. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't need
You wanted to work
Right.
with him at the time.
Right.
Yeah,
You
because
didn't
even though
need
it
to.
broke your heart, you was still
Yeah, you know.
you still didn't need him.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I believe for you maybe it respected the relationship a little bit more
Right.
than what you could actually make. Like, let's just
Right.
keep a good relationship overall. That's
Absolutely.
very important.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. And I actually wrote him a very long message trying to explain like what I just came off of, like the depression, the stuff I was battling, and what I thought this would be. He didn't really respect it enough to text me back. So after that, I was like, hey, it's all love from a distance. You know what I'm saying, bro? I've worked with people from Hollywood long enough to know how this works. You know, Hollywood's a different beast, and you can't get emotionally invested. And at the time I was young, I was excited. I'm from Houston, bro. Like
Right,
we don't really
right.
have that many celebs like that
Real
to work
shit.
with. So when I was getting all this attention in, LA as a kid from Houston, I was like, oh, this gotta happen, this gotta happen, this gotta happen. Sometimes things work out, sometimes
They
things
don't.
don't. But the key,
Everything has its dead ends,
Right.
bro. Right?
right,
Everything has its dead ends. So I get
Right.
that, you know?
right.
What's been the overall like experience for you, and just coming from, I mean, obviously nobody knew who you were. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You didn't go get with some big clothing designer, somebody who was already making it. You made it yourself and you start
Right.
seeing people. How's that like really make you feel, bro? Like I really want to know, like, because you're there, obviously. We see
Um,
this.
That's actually a really
You
good.
proud of yourself?
Absolutely, but that's a really good question because for the longest time, bro, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why
Yeah.
I got this rose tatted right here because I forgot to stop and smell the roses along the way. I was so invested into like, what's next? What's next? I was at Diddy's party, like
Mm.
27 years old, sponsoring Diddy's party. I got Chris Brown right next to me dancing. I got Lil Pump right there
Hey.
jumping on the table, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even there, bro. It's like, okay, I just did this. What's gonna happen tomorrow? What's gonna happen tomorrow? And I have severe anxiety, bro. Like, I can't sleep because like I always have to top myself. You know what I'm saying? Like this
You're your worst critic.
I am.
Yeah. There's
You know
nothing
what
wrong
I'm
with that.
saying? So
I am too.
So to answer your question, I'm absolutely proud of myself because one, being Middle Eastern, bro, we were taught to go to school, become a doctor or engineer. I was actually the first one in my family to, be all tatted up and drop out of college twice because my sister's a dentist. My mom's a cardiovascular tech. She used to be a nurse. Everyone in my family's in the medical field. So when I dropped out and I got all tatted up, they're like, "Oh man, this kid's becoming like a gangster." Like, so
So that's crazy. That upbringing, and you born and raised in Houston?
No, I was born in Iran, bro.
Running around like when
Yeah.
did you go to Houston?
99.
99. So, but at that point, the household moms is like, and pops is like, you know what, medical field, and that's it.
My dad actually wasn't in my life. I didn't have much of a childhood. Life was really crazy, bro. When you're born in the Middle East, it's not like what people think. I mean, I don't know if you've seen what's going on in Iran right now with like the women freedom stuff that's
Yeah. I've
happening.
been checking it out.
Bro, there's no laws out there, bro. They'll kill you out there. If
Yeah.
someone's abusing your family, you can't do jack about it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have much of a childhood. I don't really even know how to play video games, if I'm being honest with you, bro. And that's why I told you and I kind of relate, because I was
Yeah.
4 years old before when I actually got into women. Like, that was my main thing. At 6, 7 years old.
Women
Yeah.
at
Women,
6,
you
7.
like women.
Yeah.
No, I get where he's. I hear the
Shit, me too.
transparency. No, like wanting to always walk up on the grown women and
Yeah.
like talk to them,
Yeah.
entertain them. Like he's just a kid. They're like, oh,
Right.
he's so cute. He's being like. I get what he's
Oh, he
saying
was
in the
doing that.
transparent. Yeah, because I did that when
Yeah.
I was young. Like just always wanted to be around some of the girls. Like man, she's pretty shit. You ain't never seen nothing like that. You don't know how to channel them
Right.
feelings.
I
know?
wasn't in the game like yourself, but I was very young when I started messing around with women. My mom's probably gonna watch this, but
Sorry.
sorry, mom.
Sorry, mom. We love you. We love you.
I'm still your angel, but
They say he gonna send you the package next week. It's
She
coming.
threw all that shit out the building when you got them tattoos. She probably didn't give a shit.
man, my mom thought I was the sweetest angel ever. But yeah, I was 7 years old, bro. When I started messing around with women.
Yeah,
And-
what you
and what you
mean
saying,
messing
man,
around
like-
with him? Hold on. What you mean messing around with him? Like physically? What do you mean?
I tried physically in the first grade, and she cried, so we had to part
Whoa.
ways. Yeah.
Whoa, how
Oh,
old was
whoa.
she?
So the truth is, when I was 4 years old, my cousins in Iran were watching the Titanic around me, and
Whoa,
when I saw the
this-
sex scene, I was like, "Wow, this is awesome."
Yeah.
So ever since then, bro, I had like a attraction towards women. Nobody even knew this till now. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
Sharp
that's
Tank, right?
We're Sharp Tank, man. I mean,
Sharp
T-Rell's over here flabbergasted.
Like, you ain't do no shit like that. You know what I mean? Not
Man.
at 7. He said, I seen
T-Rell's over
Titanic.
here, like, what the fuck?
I seen Titanic and cried.
Yeah. He saw Titanic and wanted to fuck.
Yeah. I thought my boy, he died. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to hop on that fucking
you know they said
that
something.
door.
Hey, funny fact, whatever. They say something about and we can get off the top of it. It said that scientists have went and looked at it. They said that if they reenacted the Titanic and they say that he could have actually lived. He didn't have to die. They said there was enough room.
Well, we
on
figured
top
that
of
the
board.
fuck out when we watched the movie. I said he could have climbed on this damn door. I was so upset.
No, man, I've been through a lot of crazy stuff with women
Right,
too.
right.
You know?
You're a fucking fool, bro.
Yeah.
Done with you, bro.
That nigga said I was into women at 6'7". Shame on you.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
then
bro.
you know what happened after that? You feel me? Like well, you leading into junior high school, it's getting a little bit more crazier now. Junior high school.
It had to be for you if you were learning it at that age.
Nah, it's crazy. Like I said, I got some crazy stories. Bro.
So when did you lose your virginity?
Oh shit, my mom's watching this. 13.
13?
Yeah. I think you related.
I did that, yeah.
Man, he
Shit,
putting
didn't
it
even
on
know
you
how
too.
to. Hey,
So, we
I
both
didn't
gotta
even
get in
know.
trouble.
Hey, I didn't even know how to poke it and stroke it up. My mama ain't gonna give a fuck.
No, my mom was.
Hey, that's the difference between this. My mama ain't gonna really give a fuck. But
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to poke it and stroke it just yet. And I was trying to play 13.
Y'all
I mean,
wild in here.
you know,
huh?
I mean, shit, bro.
No, I was like the people's champ the first time too.
Whoa,
Bro. Yeah.
people's champ.
Yeah, people's champ. 'cause
Elaborate.
She
'Cause
was,
you was
17. I was 13.
Oh,
Oh,
was you
yeah.
watching? You was watching porn?
I was a master at that time, bro. Like I lasted a long time. She was like, "How many times have you done this before?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." You know.
So he was in that thing like, hold on, I've been waiting on this shit. And I'm a designer. I'm finna be going crazy.
You wasn't even thinking about designing at that time, were you? I mean, you were
I
a
was
young man.
Scuba Steve, bro. I was a deep sea swimmer. Yeah.
Oh, man.
For the city.
For all Tri-Cities.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
Damn, bro.
designing thing came after high school. I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume.
I was trying to stick to the medical field like my family.
Mm.
But I always knew I wanted to do something that had to deal with entertainment. When I was 20 years old, I was like, man, what if I like get into WWE? I thought that was like the most reasonable thing because I didn't know how to play football.
You wanted to wrestle?
Nah, it was like I could find my way through to like movies through that. You know what I'm saying? So I started taking like pro hormones, and I was like 200 pounds.
Why would you say that? Because you feel like Dwayne Rock
Yeah.
Johnson made it?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know.
I just wanted to know because I know there was somebody who made it out. So I'm like, you probably look up to somebody that
Right.
made it out of that. You wouldn't just think of wrestling just for anything.
No, I mean I was a fan as a kid. And,
I mean, we all. I was.
right.
I was, but back when it was for real.
Right. So like I had anger issues. So when my mom tried to put me in football, the first time I got tackled, I didn't know much about football to be honest with you. The first time I got tackled, I grabbed that kid's helmet and I started like beating him up. I didn't know like that was a part of it. So football didn't work out for me.
You acting like a real true little Iranian kid. He was, T-Rell. He acting like a true Iranian
Yeah,
kid.
he
Like, I don't know how to even like take this shit.
No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried to throw a football. I didn't know how the coaches were laughing at me. So I think that frustrated me.
That ain't cool.
Yeah.
That ain't cool to laugh at you. They should be trying to teach you.
They didn't. I think they told me like, "What the fuck you doing here?" And I was like, "Whoa," you know. That was
It's got to
in
be
the
a hell of a
7th
culture shock.
Yeah, that was like in the 7th grade. So
Yeah.
I didn't know how to really play any sports. I kind of knew how to play basketball because it was simple, you know, but not by like the full rules. But yeah, man.
Was mom disappointed in you? Like when she figured out, you know what, he's not gonna take, you know, the lead and he's not gonna follow our steps. It's over. He's taking another route.
My mom is like my best friend, you know what I'm saying? She's very supportive, but I think she was more so concerned. Like you don't know anyone in Hollywood to try to work with celebrities. You don't know any famous people. Because I wasn't really a social, like super social kid back then. So she was kind of like, how are you gonna reach out to the world to like, you know, buy your clothes or design for celebrities? Everyone in your family's in the medical field, so you have no connections to reach out to anybody. And at the time, it isn't like now, where like Instagram bios, you have, you know, mailboxes and stuff like that.
Well, I hope this interview takes some of the red out of the ledger for her. You know, and she could see like, hey, man, you know, he actually is doing something. He actually is trying to get somewhere. And you just even rubbing shoulders, man, and being so humble about it. Like just with some of the people that you work with, I know there's some people that would die to work with just one of them people. You know what I'm saying? Or even just bump shoulders with them and say that they met him. And for you to sit here and be very humble about it, man, I tip my hat to you.
I appreciate you,
for real, man. And telling the story and being very transparent. You ain't up over here just trying to let me and him lead. Like this is your story, man. Like my man Suicide say, man, hey man, let it out, loved one.
Yeah, because you left your dad in Iran?
Let it out.
My dad left when I was actually a crazy story. He actually took us to India for a business trip, and he kind of dipped. So we were stuck there in a village for like I think a year or two max.
Damn.
What?
Yeah, bro. We didn't have hot water. My mom used to put water in a pot, boil
that shit,
and give me a bath. We had like lizards this big walking around, and in the middle of the night you just hear shit like flopping on your chest. And I remember, like, I wanted a dog really bad, so my mom got me one.
Why would you want a dog when you had a bunch of lizards?
Shit, I had rats too.
Damn.
So we got this white little puppy, put it in the bedroom, bro. Woke up the next morning, this dog was black. It was just covered in fleas. So lived a crazy life, man. Like I said, my childhood was crazy.
We gotta back up because Pops took y'all to India. It was this from Iran, from Iran to India, on a business trip. To a hotel.
Right.
And y'all woke up.
I don't remember exactly how he did. I just remember.
But he dipped and y'all was just left in the hotel.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to bash my dad, you know.
No, but he did what he did.
Yeah, he did what he did.
You still speak to him?
Yeah, now we talk like every couple months.
He left you in India with nothing, no money, poor, and just left you guys. You guys had to stay there in India till you guys got enough money to come back to the States or go to Iran.
My mom actually ended up becoming friends with some guy that ended up giving her a job, and he helped us out. I guess he put us in that little hut, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. It was like a village with an old building. That's how that happened. Yeah, but
how old was you when that happened?
3, because we went back to Iran when I was 4 because my grandpa was about to pass from cancer. So, yeah.
Damn, dog.
That's crazy, homie. Seems like that like kind of affected you some.
Yeah, man,
like
I've
changed your outlook. I think that was the time that where like things changed your outlook, even before the Titanic. Even before seeing like shit like that, you wanted to be promiscuous. I'm saying like I feel like that's where like it took a change in events for you.
Yeah, I think I didn't realize at the time, but I started having a lot of anger towards my dad.
Yeah.
Because especially when I came here, man, it was pretty rough when I came here. Because I was being raised by my mother and my sister, and I didn't have that male figure in my life.
Did you know English at the time?
Man, I had a thick Indian accent. So imagine being like, I was pale as shit. Like, I don't know how pale I am now, but
you're still pale.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll get a tan with you. I mean, I
don't
want to lie to you.
No,
yeah. You know?
Yeah, so I look like a white kid with a thick Indian accent. So I was getting bullied for that.
Yeah.
And at the time, fighting became my thing, bro. I just love to fight. It was a way for me to release all that anger, the smallest thing. Even someone, like in the 4th grade, I'll never forget, this kid just came up from behind because people knew how sensitive I was about my hair. Just messed up my hair. Bro, I just got up, started wailing off on that kid over my hair, and I got suspended. Then I got expelled. So my sister had to play as my mom while I was in school. Yeah, because, you know, my mom was always busy working, bro. So my sister had to take care of everything. I got expelled, like, almost twice. The second time, they were just like, we don't want to, like, put it on his record, but y'all need to switch schools. Because I was just fighting everywhere, bro.
So fast forward back to the fashion, you know, and this lady you were sexting with, because now I understand why you was doing it. Titanic, man.
Kind of why you was doing it,
now
too.
I had to see. Now I know. I said, okay, you feel me? He trying to get it cracking.
Jr.? Yeah. We know why you was on it.
He talk about T-shirts. He trying to see what's up. So now all that Titanic shit got you into, you know, she's teaching you about fabrics and shit, you know? Like, so tell us about that. What fabrics you feel like are the best? What was going on? What not to use? What not to touch?
So, like, the actual fabrics itself, I can't really just put out like that because there are blends that, you know, I design myself now.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't like to just put out my stuff out there.
Didn't you say you fucked with Amiri for a second? Like the
yeah,
same.
like
company that they
right.
get their fabrics from.
Yeah, I study like Louis Vuitton, everyone's stuff, and I get the same quality of fabric. Bless you.
Thank you.
Same quality of fabrics.
Yeah. I
And I
mean,
try to top that. So I see like what people like and dislike about it, and I make sure like mine has it. So I can tell you Amiri's hoodie wouldn't be as durable as that one. Oh my bad, I didn't want to like bash him
Yeah.
like that, but yeah, it's true.
I ain't gonna knock it because I feel like a lot of fashion brands, it's just all about the dream that you sell.
Right.
I mean, some shit is just it's not that quality.
I'm selling you an
yeah.
obsession. Like
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
obsessed with this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure I give you your money's worth because, like I said, I don't come from money. So if I'm gonna ask someone to spend like 90, $100 on something, I want you to like love that $100 you just spent. And
Yeah.
with that hoodie, bro, if I pull up my DMs, my texts, that's all you see is, bro, why didn't you put out a black one? I want another one. I want another one. So, like I said, I started this new Instagram and I had less than at the time of the launch, I had less than 500 followers. We sold out in like 4 days.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Man, tell me the secret.
Yeah.
So at
For
the
real.
time, like, cause on my
I did the
original
research.
Instagram, on my original Instagram, I had like 50,000 followers, and on this new, I was like, cause they grew, I guess they grew up with me, and
And you were just selling strictly clothes. There was
Yeah,
nothing else that you were
yeah.
into on that page.
No, bro, that's why like I'm probably the only person out of Texas right now that's gotten this much attention from celebrities and everything else just strictly off of designs. You know what I'm saying? That anyone that's touched my stuff has always reached out to me. There hasn't been one person that said, "Oh, this is crap." I've never had one return in my life. I've only had size exchanges. So in 6 years, never had a return, only size exchanges.
No one never returned it.
No
That's a crazy ratio right there. I
Yeah.
ain't even gonna lie to you. That mean that shit is quality. Because I
You-
returned a Gucci t-shirt.
Yeah,
I returned the fuck out that shit. I felt like that shit was so thin.
yeah,
It was not durable at all.
right,
And the price point for that shit, it didn't match up.
right.
This shit going back.
Yeah, we make sure we put on all the instructions on how to wash it and take care of it and stuff like that. So
You're giving a lot of people a run for their money.
for sure,
If you hear the man game, like I've sat here with you and I'm listening to what you're telling me. You got a lot of knowledge in this.
for sure,
It comes from a place like this is experience.
right.
You definitely gonna be something dangerous on me.
I appreciate
Like
that.
for real. You keep going. Like I don't even think we need to even ask you your next 5 years because I think you already done mapped that out and summed that up for us.
Yeah, like I said, I'm Iranian, so is Amiri, and I don't really have idols, but I do appreciate what he's doing, and he's killing it right now. So
Do
I
you
would-
feel like that's your competition?
absolutely, I don't see anybody else but him, bro.
Because he's
Damn.
from Iran?
Yeah, and his I love the level of like his creativity and the celebrities he's working with. It's like we're on the same path. He is older than me, so he achieved it. And of course, he has the funds to be more creative than I can right now. But if you go look at like the last 2 videos on my Instagram that I did for like that hoodie, bro, we did like 3-4 videos on that hoodie, just marketing that one hoodie because I wanted you to see how special that hoodie was. There wasn't gonna be just one promo video. Even when we sold out, we continued to make videos on that hoodie because I want you to see the name Palm 11. I want you to remember it. And that hoodie was just something special. You know what I'm saying? We invested into it. So yeah, that's the person I have my eyes on right now, and I definitely believe I can pass him up.
Well, but
Yeah.
as far as like the stores, because he's in every like
Everywhere.
Nordstroms and shit like that. But you feel like that's your path too?
Yeah, I actually had an opportunity to work with Nordstrom in 2018 or 19.
How do you come across those buyers
Yeah, how
to
do
even
you-
get in the motherfucking
People
store?
people that are in position that got a hold of my product, that fell in love with it,
Mm.
and they were like, "Hey, let me be a part of this. I can get it to here for you." So I even I don't know if I should say that, but I almost had a deal with Kim Kardashian's personal trainer too for a fitness line in 2017 or 18.
Mm.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. I've had a lot of crazy things happen, man.
You ever try to hit Amiri?
No, he watched my stories a few times.
He did?
Yeah, my old Instagram. Yeah. he
Wow, you
did.
was talking shit, huh?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You talking shit about him right now. He finna be looking. He probably like, this fucking
Yeah,
kid
he's
is
like, bro,
on my heels.
Every time I
Oh, yeah.
catch him on something,
Yeah.
he's
Fuck.
moving.
What do you feel like is better? You feel me that you do that he doesn't?
I think the quality of my products are way better. I think I'm way more creative than him. That's why I said if you merge it, we could kill it together. But if not, I gotta kill you.
Why don't we have the designers that do shit around here talking like this? We'd be a fucking staple.
Yeah. I mean,
we'd be a fucking staple.
but I like that though. I mean, but do you feel like because he has to have a lot of SKUs. I mean, sometimes when you have a lot of SKUs, I mean, sometimes you do lose the quality, or one thing might not be as fresh as the other. You know what I'm saying? As far as the design,
bro,
like, do you
T-Rell,
feel like you're gonna lose the quality?
I gotta say it, like, wouldn't that come with though, like when somebody gets to a certain level to where it's high demand? Like it's like fuck, they can't even keep up with putting it out because people are already looking for new lines. There's spring lines, summer lines, fall lines, winter lines.
You better have that
like
shit
you
fucking
gotta
designed.
already have like.
You better have it designed and ready and samples cracking.
Yeah,
But
right?
but like for us, even like accidents happen right through the manufacturers. But I be on their ass, bro. Like I fight with my manufacturer to mess something up because I tell them how important this is. Who's gonna wear my clothes? I'm like, just Jamie Foxx wear my shit. Like, don't fuck up my shit. Like I go off, bro. And they're like in panic mode. And I was the first person to bring luxury wear, like I said to them. So they don't want to lose me as a client because I've spent a lot of money with them as well. So I think it's the workers and the people you have around to maintain that quality, bro. Like I understand things will happen, bro. But there's no reason for your quality to go down. I could see like a thread sticking out, or like you might have a pocket, like a hole in a pocket. But the quality shouldn't get affected just because you're bigger, bro.
Your shit is all American based.
No,
Just China too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't do business in America right now.
You don't do business in America at all.
I don't have an issue.
But that's crazy. How the
Another
hell are you
Andrew
keeping up with
Tate
these
2.0. We got another Andrew Tate 2.0 on our
How are you
hands.
keeping up with these goddamn
For fashion.
manufacturers over there?
Hey, for fashion, we got an Andrew Tate of fashion.
on.
Like, yeah,
So
I don't
you-
do business with them.
This makes it even more interesting because I thought the young lady he was texting was out here.
No, that's
now
right.
he's
she was
WhatsApping this.
always-
No,
So
it
you
was always-
WhatsApping this
No,
lady?
it was always
This-
overseas.
he's
He
on.
had said it. He had said it. He was like, it was always overseas.
You WhatsApping the random Asian lady.
Yeah.
You cold.
Thank
I don't
you.
even get to see their face.
That's why I said no. I told you.
This nigga crazy, dog.
She saw my Instagram.
Yeah.
Because she found out I was working on celebrities and stuff. So I don't know if she was trying to see who their manufacturer's working with, the person, this and that. And then she was like, "You're very good looking." I was like, "Well, I've never seen what you look like." So she sent me a picture in her bra and panties, and one thing led to another. Yeah.
So did you look this Amiri's manufacturer up and then try to go to the same manufacturer?
Nah.
Yes, you did.
How did you come up with that?
I didn't.
Because you told me this.
Yeah.
No, you told me
I
this,
told
bro.
you.
You was like, I get like my fabrics come from some of the same people
I said,
that Amiri gets theirs
right,
from.
the fabric, not the manufacturer. So I have his hats.
Who gets the fabrics?
I mean, I don't know where my manufacturer gets their.
No, I'm saying for who gets the fabrics.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
okay.
I'm looking at it as a whole. Like, okay, y'all get y'all fabrics from the same people.
No.
So the quality got to be the same.
The quality's the same.
For
So
sure.
like I have his hats because they did fit really well, but I think the quality's like going down since I've bought more. But his hat was an example that I used to get that quality for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be transparent.
No, I'm being
let's
transparent.
be very
I thought,
honest.
I thought you meant like the same manufacturer. I don't use his manufacturer. I use my manufacturer.
To get fabric.
Right.
But you say y'all both got the same quality. Nobody's just making the same thing. It's just
The fabric-
if it's
the
a fabric,
fabric.
if it's the same fabric,
Fabrics
it's the
get
same quality.
right.
I don't give a fuck how you cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fabric gets
Yeah.
imported to the manufacturer.
that's why I got your ass here.
Yeah, it's the roll
That's
of
why-
fabric.
Yeah,
You know what I
Just
mean?
to bring some extra
Yeah.
transparency
Like-
to the situation.
Like these sweats that I'm wearing right now, I designed them myself, but they're the same fabric quality as Essentials. You can't get that because they custom make their own fabric. So my manufacturer had to dig deep to where like we had to fight for weeks for them to match the thread count, everything to match up.
And you know, a lot of his shit isn't it made? It's USA, right?
it wasn't.
Essential.
No, when they looked it up, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Nah,
Damn. So they lying to me.
I mean everybody.
Who
Like,
owns T-Rell, do you know?
Jerry
who owns
Lorenzo.
Gallery department.
Forgot that young man's name, but he's doing a great job.
Seems like
too.
they're out there moving too.
Yeah.
With Essential. I feel like Essentials and Gallery department kind of run hand in hand.
No,
together.
they
like they're competitors, like big competitors. Like they
Jerry
kind of
Lorenzo is fear of God. Gallery department ain't on his level.
Mm.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
so I mean,
Not
like
yet.
I don't.
Not yet. I love him though.
noted.
I haven't talked to
Noted.
them to like really know what they do, but my manufacturer told me it was.
But they found that and they matched that to
Yeah.
essentials.
Like we used to put them side to side, bro, and you can't tell the difference.
It's kind of
Man.
scary,
It is.
right?
It is.
Because I always
If
thought,
you really like think about it, it's got to be kind of scary. Like Debbie said, man, you can't even like fuck.
I mean, no, because a lot of people do that. Fragrances do that. Even with skincare, like you know, what I'm saying, you go to that scientist, they gonna match that shit up. You bring them whatever you want. I don't give a fuck if it's baby lotion. I
Right.
need my shit to smell like this,
Yeah.
smoothness, everything. So they gonna match it up. So
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it works nowadays. You
Yeah.
can't stop that. You know, just like Louis Vuitton, there's all these fake Louis and stuff like that. Sometimes you can't tell except like the zipper thing is on the opposite side or something, but the quality almost feels the same.
That's why people like, man, when you go into certain stores, I notice they be like, man, are we taking pictures of nothing?
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
play that shit because
Put it
people will
down.
take that shit.
Right.
Because people will take that shit, man, and go make it the exact fucking same, all the way, like
Right.
you said, the thread count.
Right.
You said if we can't tell the difference between your sweats and essentials, like I said, that's kind of scary a little
If I
bit.
blindfolded you and I put like let you wear my shirt and his shirt, you wouldn't be able to tell.
So where does originality come in at this?
At
what I'm
that
saying, with this
point,
shit? You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Like
Is
at
it
that
just
point.
the
For me-
cuts or the graphic design? Like what is it?
Graphics and cuts.
Yeah.
Like the joggers that I designed, Jamie Foxx wore to the Super Bowl. They were the first, they still are, the double zipper joggers in the front. And everyone told me, oh, I don't design that, that's tacky. But like I told you before with the Eric deal, if I believe in something, bro, and I'm like, this is gonna be a hit. I need to put this out. It's gonna be a hit. And back then everyone was like, man, 2 zippers in the front, that looks tacky, bro. On like joggers. He bought them, bro, and he wore them to the Super Bowl. And the next day, he just sold out.
Yeah.
You know, he put it on his Instagram, and then he DM'd me, yeah, bro, I wore your joggers to the Super Bowl. My family, I still have it.
Why didn't we get no joggers today?
We sold out, bro. But I got you on the coming line.
Is that becoming a problem for you selling out? You know what I'm saying, and not keeping enough inventory?
Nah, because I want things to be limited, bro. You know,
Yeah.
I want there to be a demand for it. I want it to be like your favorite candy. As soon as it drops, all the kids buy it out, and you didn't get a taste, and now you're upset.
Well, why not just buy 1,000 pieces and put 500 online, and you know what I'm saying, keep the 500 and for another month or two, then put it back out like you restocked it.
I'm waiting for my social platform to
Okay, to grow.
yeah, and then
So-
we'll do stuff like that.
Other than you, who's in charge of putting your shit in front of celebrities?
All the celebrity stuff I handle, but Nick over there is like my right hand man. So we do everything together. But right now I've built enough on my resume to have the contacts and the eyes for the celebrities.
I see this hoodie, right? I saw this hoodie online. I thought the hoodie was dope. And then, nigga, like a week later, I get one in my P.O. box. And it's
Just
from him.
randomly?
Just randomly. With a note.
Oh, that's called.
That's how I met him.
He ain't give me one.
That's why we're here. Nigga, you do got one, nigga.
Nigga, they send me
What are you
shit to my
talking
P.O.
about?
box.
But nigga, did you not get a hoodie
That's
today?
fucked up.
You did though.
Yeah, I got a hoodie.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I was gonna wear it too, but you wearing yours. I'm gonna
Yeah,
wear mine on at the end of the day. Don't worry about nothing.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. Yeah, talking about some hoodie. What are you gonna do with it? Yeah, getting in front of celebrities is a wild one. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell like an up and coming, designer?
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, like
You know,
how would
to
you
it.
tell them to get out there and market their shit?
You really have to believe you are what and who you say you are. This interview, I saw you about 2 years ago on Soft by Underbelly.
Yeah.
Man, like I read the comments, I read everything. You're
Yeah.
killing it.
Thank you.
And even though we come from two different worlds,
Yeah.
it was very similar in a lot of ways. So, I'm the only fashion designer out of my city to be on the news 3 times. Paul Wall actually gave me a shout out on the news the last time I was on there. So when I saw your interview, I was like, man, the first major platform that I do an interview with, I wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
And that's when
That's
I
live.
just found out that you got your No Jumper deal.
That's live.
So I manifested that. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw myself in this, on this couch before it happened. Because in 2017, Aaron and I started watching No Jumper. And
I wasn't even around then.
That was like 2017.
I wasn't. No, I'm saying when you
yeah.
did start watching it, like I wasn't even around then.
I
Like,
wasn't even doing. I didn't know what the fuck no
Yeah.
jumper was.
I didn't even
It
know
was-
what No Jumper was
Right.
at that time. I'm gonna be real with you, bro.
It was like Adam. that,
Yeah.
I was mostly watching.
He was
Yeah,
killing it.
for sure.
Yeah.
He was killing it at the time.
And I was like, that's a cool show. I wanted
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that he got a deal with No Jumper, I was like, man, 2+2=4. I got to get this done, you know? So that was the first interview that I really wanted to do and get my full story out there.
So this is your very first interview.
That I'm getting my actual story out there on a major platform. Yeah, absolutely.
What is one of the what part of your story that you actually, you know what I'm saying, want to get out there the most?
Good question.
To be honest with you, bro, like I said, I truly believe I'm the best out of Texas, and I'm one day I'm gonna be one of the best in the world. I just never had the eyes for all my designs to get out there, because we see what happens when someone like Sharp himself gets a hold of the hoodie, how he feels about it. We saw what happened when Jamie Foxx got a hold of the stuff, when Megan Good got a hold of stuff, when Eric Bellinger got in, hit me up a year later. Still remember that. So I know once I get enough people to like feel and see my stuff, I'm definitely gonna be one of the greatest in the world. So that's the part about my story is to be seen, bro, to be felt. Everything else is just my personal stuff. My ups and downs are for me.
T-Rell know what that shit feel like.
Yeah.
T-Rell know, like, nigga, just to even just be heard, just that
Right.
story, like just there's a story behind this cloth that I'm pushing, I think that's what I love about clothes the most is the story behind them.
Like if you look on the back of your hoodie, there's a quote that says, "You can't wait till life isn't hard anymore to be happy."
It is.
That's when I left my second brand with
That's
Eric
what I loved
Bellinger.
about this sweater. And it's got
Yeah.
the coordinates
Right.
to Houston.
Right.
So you left your second brand,
So that's how I came
coordinate?
up with Palm 11. The Palm and the 11. That was all my part of my journey. That's why our slogan is "Wish upon your paradise." The palm tree resembling paradise. Number 11, 11, 11. Make a wish upon your paradise. So I was battling depression again. So I designed that hoodie a year ago. And the second I came up with that design, I showed it to my mom. I was like, "This is gonna be my logo." So that double E on the back is actually a palm tree on top of it, and it's also a double E. And I told my mom, I was like, the day I decide to release this hoodie, it's gonna change my life. And I still get chills to this day when I think about it, because this was done a year ago. I was just sitting on it, waiting on the right time where I felt emotionally and mentally ready to get back out there. And I told myself, I knew exactly how this was gonna go, bro. I told myself, I'm gonna put out this design. I'm gonna start a whole new Instagram for people to see me for who I am as I just turned 30, as a 30-year-old man. And the way I'm gonna get my story out there is through No Jumper. So this was a year ago. We're here today. So it's crazy how manifesting works, bro. For me, I aim for the head. If I see something, I'm gonna land it right there and then. That's why I didn't rush back into it. I've learned not to react based off of emotion. If my nerves are running high, just cool it and see what makes sense. And if I can really get it done, and if I truly believe I can get it done, bro, you can't stop me.
You say you want to do a collaboration with me.
Absolutely. And I
I
have
think
some crazy ideas.
Yeah, I think we should do something.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be dope. I'm new to the game when it comes to that, but I put out one of my second piece of cloth, and I thought that I brought something different to it, and it was crazy because I sold the shirt. I think the shirt sold for like $70. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like, and I'm just starting, man. Like I'm not saying I know there's people that sell their shit. Like I bought Burberry jackets that cost $17.50. So I get it. There is levels to that. But just me starting out and not having to fucking sell a Gildan for $18 or whatever, is grand to me, and just being able to put a piece out that people actually respect, people like, people are talking about it, even if they're like, hey, I want it kind of like this. Hey, you're still talking about it. I like that.
But do you want to keep your shit at a price point where everybody can afford it?
Right.
Kinda
That's
like
a
what
great
Kanye-
question. That's a great ass
That is.
question, though.
That's a great question.
That's a great fucking question at this
and I
point.
knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yes and no, and I'll explain. So yes, as in I want, like I said, I don't come from money. I was born in the Middle East. I want most people to be able to afford a luxury brand where they can appreciate these quality, fabrics. But I do want to have my pieces that are like valuable pieces that, $17.50, like you said. But overall, I want it to be affordable.
Right.
you know,
What
mean, yeah.
what would be the price range that you feel like the max you would touch and stick at versus being like, okay, well, everybody's buying my shit because obviously your shit sells out.
right.
We know that. We've talked about that. Your
Right.
shit sold out in 4 days. So what would be like the price range you would stick at for a sweatshirt or a pair of sweatpants or just putting them together as a combo?
Combo, I would say no more than 200.
Hmm.
And you know, sweats, I think $75 to $85 is really fair for it. Hoodies, 120 and 150 is really fair for it, for the fabric that
You
I'm
play
picking
the
up.
same game, huh, T-Rell? He's like, you play the same game, like not too much, but you know, I just feel like when some people, like when things start to become to high demand, right? Like
Right.
someone's like, damn, I can't even produce these fast enough. Like I've just noticed a lot of people start going up in price.
I know, but you can keep your shit quality, and you can keep your shit at a price point to where people can afford it, and it still could be like quality because you still got your H&Ms and your Zars. Well, I feel like
Yeah.
it's quality. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it still has that design, which is great. You
Right.
feel me? Where everybody can go to, where everybody they identify with it.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me? So I mean, it's kind of like what Kanye was saying.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like it's like what he was
said
saying,
it,
dog.
but he
You know
knew
what I mean?
He said it, but he knew what he
Yeah.
was doing with that because he knew his stuff would never just go for $20. You know, if he sold it for 20, somebody would buy it and sell it for 500.
For sure.
It was
So,
crazy what he
yeah.
did with his Balenciaga stuff.
But some
and
of
he,
that, I
like,
mean,
put
because
it-
he's actually paying for clothes. That's why.
But
When he went to start buying that shit.
For
That
him
shit
to
add up.
sell it though for like dirt cheap. He was like, "Look, I'm gonna sell my whole Balenciaga line
Mm-hmm.
But that
for
goes
next to nothing. You all can come get it. It's on clearance."
that goes again with your fabric. So I'm gonna go get the same fabric Amiri got. So I could do what you just did right now, and go get the same fabric Amiri got. You feel me? Cut my t-shirt. Here's 200. Mine 70. It's still the same shit. I mean, I'm not gonna make as much money, but I'm gonna make sure it's a margin there for me. You feel me?
Right.
It's just really all about how you sell your dream, and I feel like he knows the ins and outs of this shit. And it's like this fabric is not coming from fucking Mars.
Right.
Like I can't
Right.
Balenciaga
That's
and
real
all
shit.
everybody.
Yeah,
This fabric
right.
ain't coming from fucking
A place that's just
Yeah.
unreachable.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's no reason why this jacket should be
That's
8,000.
real though, bro. For
But
real.
Like,
if
have
you
you seen
want to
them-
sell your dream like that, fucking it. If niggas is tied into it, do you?
I wanted. I think I went and looked for. I had seen Moneybag Yo in the Moneybag Yo and Glorilla video. Right, he had a Celine jacket on. He had the red Celine jacket on. So I said, I like the jacket. I said, I want to buy it. I said, I want to go get this motherfucker. Man, that motherfucker was like fucking like 7 bands.
Yeah, put it
8
down.
bands, man. I'm talking about like the cloth was like, it wasn't even, I mean, I think the most I've ever paid for like a jacket, I got a Burberry jacket that I paid for, is just like a pullover bomber. I think I paid like $17.50.
Man, get you a North Face jacket. Shame on him.
Like I paid like $17.50 for the jacket, but I'm like, I really like the Celine jacket. You know what I'm saying? I just like how it was simple. I had like the C in the front, and then on the back I had the Celine, and you know where it's from. You know how they do this shit just for
But
aesthetics.
I do like brands that do take a lot of, time, and effort and putting that, extra effort into the details, like the
Yeah.
packaging.
Packaging is the dopest to me.
Yeah,
People buy shit
packaging
just off of
and hang
packaging.
tags and how it just presented, how it comes to me. Like I like those little extra things too. Like even if you're a smaller brand, like I still feel like this shit is quality. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But on this one, I didn't do that. I did get the hang tags, but the packaging, it was very simple, clear wrap because I just wanted you to focus on the hoodie. So for the next, the future lines we're gonna put out, it'll be, dope packaging and all that. But this one, I wanted you to just focus on the
I
hoodie.
mean, let's be honest, bro.
Right.
You sold out on it
Yeah.
in 4 days.
Yeah.
I don't think packaging at that point was you just needed to get it out there because
Right.
people were expecting their product.
But you
Right.
can't have essential packaging. It's
Yeah.
something, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same
Right,
shit and
right.
still
Yeah.
keep it at a quality level.
But you did say something. They said, like anyone can go get the fabric and do this and that. Yes and no, because it is still very expensive fabric. Like for me, I have a relationship with my manufacturer, so I get it at the price that I want. A lot of people can't just go ahead and do that, and even if you do, it may not sell because your design isn't hard enough. So you really have to, again, be who and what you think you are to get this out there. You know, because think about how many people get into fashion every single day because they think that's like the next thing, just like rap.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a rapper. You know, now everyone's trying to have their own brand. As soon as it gets any kind of attention, they want to just have their own brand. And
Well, it's the no, I don't mean to interrupt, but I would feel like it's the brand that sells these days. It's not necessarily the rap
right.
or for anything, right? It isn't. It's the brand at hand that's selling. You know, people don't give a fuck. They just like the brand.
Well, what? Go ahead.
Do you guys remember when Kendall and Kylie tried to put out their own brand? That didn't succeed. Their shop didn't succeed.
Give them some games, bro.
You gotta.
I mean, you know, they probably just wasn't at that point. A lot of people just can't actually sell clothes, and then if you selling something, the consumer knows when you don't love it.
Exactly.
So when now the shit that they're selling, they know that they're in love with it.
Exactly.
So if I got skincare, if I got makeup, and whatever else they're selling, it's booming. It's out the gate.
How's it been for you, T-Rell?
You know?
Like owning a store that caters, like, or you know, with your woman, like y'all owning a store together that caters to just women, because you know a lot of shit that you know for the man's man.
I mean, women, they're not brand loyal, and they buy whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sometimes it's fast fashion, sometimes it's cut and sew. But
Yeah.
the women are probably the best consumer ever. I mean, men are just like, you know, it has to be. You have to be. We brand loyal, so if we know about it and we feel like, and then we get it and we feel like it's quality, we wearing it forever.
Yeah.
So he's doing he you know what I'm saying, you are doing something right by making sure like the fabrics and everything is correct, because like the normal dude, we was just talking about this. The normal dude don't wash his jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas wear jeans forever.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then take them to the cleaners or whatever. Okay, but if it's a good fit, if it's a good pair of jeans, man, you sold, and you gonna always come back to that brand, and that brand is just always gonna be number one for he or she. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Women kind of like not like the same. They do that more so with accessories, and you know that's why Louis, Chanel, and Gucci, they always gonna boom, because you know it's the quality of the purse, how much it is. You feel me? And it's just a dream that's sold. You feel me? And a lot of people just can't get that shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's not obtainable for a lot of motherfuckers too. You gotta kind of keep it there too. But yeah, man. With women, women is the best consumer for sure.
Have you ever thought about making anything for a woman's line?
That's what I used to do. It was mostly for women. I never really had, because my following has always been majority women.
Yeah.
So on my new Instagram, I'm finally starting to get some males, and you know, been interacting. They've been commenting on my stuff, like, man, the hoodie's dope, this and that. I never had that on my last Instagram. It was always like, you know, I was younger, so I was doing fuckboy shit for women to like me more and more. So majority of my followers were women, but now I'm like taking a business approach. Also watching like how these guys that are, you know, like you said, Andrew Tate or Dan Bilzerian, like those guys.
Shout out Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah,
Andrew
that's
Tate,
actually
for
if
real.
I were to have an idol, it would be Dan Bilzerian, because
Adam actually did an interview with
I
him.
saw that
In Vegas, yeah.
Yeah,
He did a special.
I believe I can top what he's doing one day.
With this, what you're doing, like, how's the lifestyle for you? Because you know, like, y'all partying, y'all got the, you know what I'm saying, the girls, the women, like, you know what I'm saying. What are we doing out here? Because I know you got your team with you.
So,
like, what's going on, man?
Because I tell Nick everything. I keep that stuff on a low, so I won't put out numbers. But like with the women, it's pretty crazy, bro.
Are you meeting them outside, like on social media, Instagram, or are we clubbing?
So no, he can tell you.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm actually banned from Hinge. So
Oh my God.
And then women on Instagram blow up
T-Rell.
my DMs.
How you get banned from the club?
No, Hinge, the app, the dating
Oh,
app.
Hinge, the dating app.
Yeah.
I'm talking how I thought that was a club. How the fuck you get banned from a dating app?
So I started off slow. Like, I never used that before, right? Because my previous Instagram, it was my dating app. I had all those female followers. They would DM me like 2 girls making out saying, let's have a threesome, this and that. So it got crazy. When I gave up that Instagram, started getting bored. I was like, man, I'm not really a club person. So I was like, let me just like try this dating app stuff. Hinge was like, I guess, the number one, whatever. So I got on there. I was doing the free stuff only. And I started running out of likes. And then I started getting a lot of like women off that. And I was like, man, this one's bad, but I don't have any more likes. So I bought the app, and it was unlimited. So the numbers got crazy, bro. Every day I was getting like a crazy number of women. During the week, I would take out 30, 40 women, bro. Like
During the week?
yeah.
So you a horn dog.
Would you consider yourself like a male gigolo? Like,
He horny
can we
over
title
here,
this?
man.
Ermia is the designer, gigolo, just off the dribble.
Now we need to put him on Plug Talk. Plug Talk is where my man is going.
I probably should, to be honest with you, because
Yeah, you want to go on Plug Talk?
I saw Adam interviewed what's her name, Candace Scandal. She just followed me on Instagram too, and I was like, man, is this my opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, would you ever do porn?
Maybe one day.
This is crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna call myself the Persian kebab, though. I already know that, baby.
The Persian.
What the fuck you got me on here with? My nigga designing and he finna do porn. They done ban this man of a whole date nap. This is crazy. Yeah.
Fuck?
Everybody doctors in his family, and you upset he fucking the Titanic.
No, I was a black sheep for the longest time. I don't know if
I'll say this. Listen, bro. Before we get because I gotta say this one before we get about here. Anything that hey, bro, if you make it big, I don't give a fuck what's going on. You better make sure we all blessed with clothes around this motherfucker.
No, you
Send the
and I gotta
packs.
talk. You and I gotta talk because I got some ideas that'll
Let's
kill
do
the
something.
summer. Yeah,
Let's
sure.
do something. We'll kill the summer, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? I might get T-Rell's little expertise
collab,
in the
gotta
mix
collab.
and just
Yeah.
kind of put something together, homie,
Nah,
and we really
'cause
get it together.
we can
Like,
talk
for
about
real.
it.
We can really have something come out because I'm telling you, like, with what I know I can do in sales, T-Rell, yourself, and we put something together that like the audience really loves, man, and they can really respect from the quality. Because even I like putting out quality, T-Rell, you like putting out quality. We've only talked about quality this whole time. It's not about a mass amount. Yeah, that shit's gonna say you can't keep quality enough around. That shit's gonna sell out like hotcakes.
I have an idea that we'll talk about that will change the summer for us if you guys are down. Like it'll really make a huge impact.
Well, hopefully, you know, when we come together, you and your partners, you know, and we all sit down, man, at a round table, man, and we really talk business at 12 in the afternoon, I think that'll be something that's suitable. I'm always about business, man, especially when it comes to fabric clothes and just putting out some type of merch. It's all marketing.
And I'm gonna rock with you for life because, like I said, man, your energy and yours too. You know, I never met either one of y'all, but I really fuck with both of y'all.
Yeah,
you know,
we appreciate you, man. We really do.
Oh yeah, and before you get out of here, tell everybody your Instagram.
Please.
Where they can find your website, all that.
My personal Instagram is Ermia Hamidzadeh, which is ErmiaHamidzadeh. And then, of course, the brand is at Palm11. The 11 is abbreviated ELVN, so just Palm11.
Yeah, Palm 11, you know what I'm saying? Go check it out. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Go check it out, man. Get some clothes. They drops are exclusive, man. So make sure y'all go fuck with them, man. And we appreciate my man for coming and falling on through.
No, appreciate you.
The Sharp Tank. No jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world. We out this motherfucker. Hey, Donnie.
Yeah.
Shoot us out the motherfucking gym.